For nearly 80 years, one currency has ruled the world, spanning deserts, ports, skyscrapers, and markets across continents. Every trade, every loan, every barrel of oil bowed to the US dollar. But what happens when half the world decides it's had enough? When the rising nations that feed, power, and make the world's goods choose to build their own financial system? This moment is no longer hypothetical. It's quietly forming, with the weight of centuries of resentment behind it. This movement is called BRICS. If their next move succeeds, the financial order you've known, the dollar's global empire, could fracture before your eyes. The story begins with a simple yet revolutionary idea. In the 21st century, power doesn't belong to those who control armies, but those who control settlements. Every payment crossing borders, every commodity traded, every loan written in digital ink. For decades, these flows ran through one channel, the US dollar. After World War II, the dollar became more than America's currency. It became the world's oxygen. Through the Bretton Woods system, global trade was pegged to the dollar, and the dollar was pegged to gold. When that link broke in 1971, the world didn't turn away. It doubled down. The petrodollar system linked oil and commodities to dollar trade, forcing every nation to need dollars to function. Genius in disguise. Dominance cloaked as stability. If you controlled the world's currency, you controlled its behavior. America could sanction or isolate any nation without firing a single bullet. The language of money was green. But history does not allow monopolies forever. As America printed, borrowed, and expanded debt to keep the machine alive, other nations watched quietly. The miners, the drillers, the makers. These nations mined minerals, drilled oil, built factories, but had to trade lifeblood through someone else's currency. That resentment grew, becoming strategy, and strategy became BRICS. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. First an acronym coined in 2001. But these countries saw deeper, a shared frustration of a system controlled from Washington. They wanted autonomy, leverage, a world where value wasn't dictated by someone else's keyboard. Over 2 decades, they began to build their own vision. China became the world's factory. India, its software brain. Russia held its energy. Brazil and South Africa, its resources. Together, an economic bloc larger than the G7 in purchasing power. Yet their economy depended on a Western financial system, the same system that punished those who defied it. The 2022 swift cutoff of Russia was a wake-up call. If one nation could be unplugged overnight, no one was safe. Money wasn't neutral. It was a weapon. BRICS decided they'd rather build their own. Now, picture a few years from now, a BRICS summit in Shanghai where leaders unveil a new financial architecture. Their vision, a digital currency backed not by promises but by real power, commodities, energy, labor. The BRICS Reserve Unit, a digital coin anchored to gold, oil, rare earth minerals, and member currencies. Designed for trade settlements, not speculation, a parallel network outside Western banking rails. No SWIFT, no Federal Reserve, no Wall Street middlemen. Payments from Rio reach Shanghai in seconds, settled through a BRICS blockchain, immune to sanctions or oversight. To markets, this is seismic. The West initially dismisses it as symbolic and impractical. But months later, Saudi Arabia signs oil deals not in dollars, but in BRICS currency. India begins paying Russia for energy through the new system. African nations trade minerals with China using BRICS currency. A portion of global trade shifts off the dollar grid. First 10%, then 20% of trade moves off the dollar. Currency traders panic. The dollar dips, then wobbles. Treasury yields spike as investors demand more to hold U.S. debt. Emerging markets diversify reserves, quietly reducing dollar holdings. It's not a collapse overnight. Empires never fall that way, but the tilt has begun. America can still print money, but inflation now spills into the world differently. Sanctions lose their bite. Financial dominance, once invisible, starts cracking in plain sight. With each transaction bypassing the dollar, the illusion of permanence fades. But this is more than finance. It's a story of civilization and shifting global power. For centuries, global power moved westward, from Rome to London to Washington. Now, it drifts east, not through war, but through trade and exchange of value. China's Belt and Road Initiative connects Asia, Africa, and Europe through ports, rails, and fiber cables. Add a financial system to that network, and you have a new empire without borders. BRICS isn't just creating a currency, it's crafting a new language of money, one that speaks to the majority of the planet excluded from the Western promise. Countries like Indonesia, Iran, Nigeria, and Egypt see the Western system as exclusionary and weaponized. For them, BRICS' move is not rebellion, it's liberation. We think history is past, but perhaps it just repeats in new forms. This time, in pixels instead of coins, the digital echoes of fallen empires shape today's reality. Rome debased its silver, we digitize our dollars. The result? Possibly the same collapse, just much faster. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes in cycles of power and trust. Right now, we're living a revolution so profound future historians will compare it to Rome's fall, without legions or fire, but with data and code replacing coins of gold. For thousands of years, money was tangible trust: gold, silver, salt, grain, scarce and real. Rome's denarius was not just value but confidence, a promise backed by empire and discipline. But empires grow too large, armies expand, borders stretch, costs explode. When taxes can't keep up, rulers debase money, melting coins, adding cheaper metals, pretending all is well. At first, no one notices. Then trust cracks, prices soar, soldiers demand higher pay, trade slows. Rome's mighty economy began to rot from within as money lost its soul. Centuries later, silver gave way to paper, gold-backed notes claiming to represent real metal. But empires learned the same dangerous trick, printing more promises than they could keep. In 1971, Nixon ended the dollar's convertibility to gold. The night real money died, and faith-based money took over. For the first time, the global economy ran on trust alone. Governments could print, borrow, spend without limits. Central banks became new emperors, minting wealth not in metal but in keystrokes, and for decades it seemed to work. But the illusion of endless prosperity cracks. It did in Rome, it did in Weimar, and it's cracking now, not in coins or paper, but in code. Money has evolved with power, from monarchs to parliaments, gold coins to government notes, banks powering nations. Now, with data the frontier, money becomes digital, detached from paper and reality. Today, we enter a digital empire. Money no longer jingles in pockets or folds in wallets. It flickers on screens, invisible, instant, part of a vast digital web. It feels modern and safe. But beneath the glow, the old danger returns. Dependency on trust in banks, governments, algorithms. What if that trust fails? Rome had silver, we have code, both treated as unbreakable, yet both only as strong as the belief behind them. The pandemic in 2020 tested these beliefs severely. Factories closed, economies paused, leaders created trillions with a few clicks. Rome took centuries to destroy its coinage. We did it digitally in months. They called it stimulus, support, really printing belief, not wealth. Inflation followed, denied, redefined, accepted. It's not just about prices rising, but the shrinking value in your pocket. The slow theft of purchasing power punishing savers and rewarding debtors. A tax no one votes for and one that never disappears. Ordinary citizens felt it. Groceries more expensive, housing less reachable, savings buying less year after year. While politicians argue, history silently teaches the same lesson. Empires cornered by debt don't default on paper, but default in value. BRICS rise signals balance, maybe accountability. A new system doesn't guarantee fairness, but it guarantees change. Change is the one thing the old order cannot control, and change is now at the door of global finance. Money is a story we all agree to believe. The dollar's story was written in war's ashes. The BRICS story is being written in inequality's shadow. Stability or chaos is yet to be seen. Empires fall like currencies do, first slowly, then all at once. Perhaps the real collapse is philosophical, the understanding that no empire or promise lasts forever. The day BRICS introduces its new system won't feel explosive. It will be a quiet shift, screens updating, charts moving, and the world's foundation tilting quietly beneath our feet. We'll still use cards, buy coffee, check balances, but something deep will have changed. The empire of paper will give way to the empire of code. History will remember this moment as 1971, the day money changed meaning. The dollar didn't rule by force, it ruled by trust, and trust is the most fragile empire of all. If BRICS builds a system people believe in more, one that feels fairer, freer, or simply newer, the torch will pass. Not with revolution, but with a transaction. The world won't explode when it happens. Instead, it will exhale. The future of money isn't American, Chinese, or Russian. It's multipolar, digital, and inevitable. The question isn't whether BRICS will rise. It's whether the rest of us are ready when they do. The next financial revolution won't be televised in blood. It will be live-streamed in code. Like every great transformation before it, most won't notice until it's already here. The answers to these changes are not hidden in the future. They're unfolding now. Trust is the foundation of money, and with it, fragile empires rise and fall. As we move forward, this trust will be tested in ways we have yet to imagine. The digital empire is emerging with new codes, new rules, and new challenges. For all of us watching, the question remains, how do we prepare for a world where money is digital and multipolar? Understanding these shifts demands awareness and adaptation. This quiet revolution will touch governments, businesses, and individuals alike. Reflect on your own role in this evolving landscape. How might digital money impact your life, your savings, and your future opportunities? The financial future is uncertain, but the transformation is inevitable. Embrace change with curiosity and calm as history unfolds around us all. As the digital empire grows, so too will new forms of trust, innovation, and collaboration across borders. The canvas of money is being rewoven. What's next might surprise you. The story of money is far from over. Are you ready to witness the quiet revolution in global finance? In our next video, we'll explore the technological innovations driving this digital transformation further, unlocking unexpected possibilities for the global economy. To dive deeper, visit our playlist on global finance and economics, carefully curated to expand your understanding of these complex shifts. What do you think about the dollar's fragility and BRICS rise? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation on this pivotal moment. If this video offered insight, consider subscribing and hitting the bell to stay informed on the ongoing financial revolution calmly and clearly. Thank you for watching. The future is unfolding, quietly, steadily, and with profound change for us all.